Okay. There's still a few more gigs I think I want to cover from this year.
And see if we haven't mentioned one of your gigs and we were at it. Sorry, it's just there's been a lot this year.
Many gigs, many beers.
Exactly, beers are the problem.
The more we drink, the less we're gonna remember. So
I think we done a bit of a deep dive of how many we've been at this year. Personally, like it's between since the start of May. I've been at something like 36 or 7 gigs, which is, tiring.
that's a fair few. Yeah. Did anyone head to any of the gigs in Bangor? Because Bangor's starting to get metal gigs in the Goat's Toe, is that right?
Yeah, I saw the Crawling with the Madison Stranglewire. I think, it was, it would have been August because it was the week when I get back from Bloodstock.
That's right.
I took a random day trip to Galway to see Enola Gay and then came back and then 2 days rest and then I woke up basically after hibernation, went up to Bangor, and that show was explosive because the Crawling themselves, they're a big band. So like the last time I saw them I think was December last year, Limelight, with the barrier and this time it was just there they are right in front of you, tiny stage, it's just right in your face, and it was spectacular. Both in the Madison Stranglewire were on fire as well. That gig, there's something about that venue for shows because it's so small and just so constraint right there that it's just phenomenal, utterly phenomenal. But I heard that they've stopped doing them up there.
Okay.
I don't know the specifics or nothing, but I just heard that those gigs are no longer a thing anymore.
Right, that's pretty disappointing, to be honest, because they were really good, and
really
the
good
feedback from the bands was that actually they really loved playing it.
And they always
there's a weird 360 angle to the stage, because you've got the front, and then there's a set of stairs up the side,
and the balcony,
and you kind of walk down the side of the stage, and then there's a balcony overlooking at it from behind and sort of the side as well. So there's a 360 angle, and it's quite a cool thing. It's pretty unique. Certainly from band or places that I've seen, but there was that night the bands loved it. The place was packed, and I couldn't see why you wouldn't put more gigs on in there. Yeah, because
I wonder.
It was packed out.
I've noticed. I've never been to the Goat Stove for a metal gig, but I've been to metal shows in pubs where you have people paying in to see the bands, but you've still got the bar open for people that just want to come in for a pint. And I'm wondering if the benefits of putting on a band and bringing in 20 people to see a band is kind of at odds with getting people in just for a pint. Maybe people aren't coming in just for a beer because of this is on. I don't know. I'm just kind of hazarding a guess.
It's a big enough place, and there were definitely people that were like, what the fuck is this? There was 100% people that were going, what the hell is going on here? Because there was there was fellas and girls coming out for their Saturday night, and they're all dressed their nights with their blazer on, their skirts on, etc., and they're all going out, and they're going up the stairs, and they're having to walk past all the fucking hairy metalers, going up the stairs, and then going out into the rooftop terrace, and they're like, right, we're going to have our night here, while we're occupying the downstairs, So I totally get what you're saying.
I know how to tackle that. Right, put on one hardcore show, get a load of kids down, knocking the balls out of each other, right, and then after that, the metalers will seem, they're kind of cool.
They're all right, those ones,
the whole metal scene in Northern Ireland's always been so incredibly Belfast centric.
That's the thing, yeah.
It's nice to see people try something outside of that. I've got quite a few friends from Bangor direction. I know people have went down and lived in Bangor for a little bit, and you would think there's. It's that sort of thing. It needs supported. I've always, one of the topics I've always wanted to talk about in the podcast was, what does it mean to support the scene? It's a phrase that's thrown out, and to me, whenever you've got those smaller little towns and someone's trying to put on metal gigs, I think the metal community around those towns need to go see those bands, whether they're bands they like or not.
Yeah.
You know, I will go and see. I'll go and see the Crawling and Stranglewire, even though it's not my bag, in the hope that attending this gig means that
There'll
next
be more
time
to come.
we'll get Oracle and Lockhorns or something like that. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? I think there's much more of a requirement to support it. Whereas in Belfast, I think we've got the luxury of just go to see the gigs that you want to see.
Yeah, I think
you
that's
know?
the thing as well. So there's so many gigs in Belfast, so people from Bangor and further afield come in for those shows. I know a
Yeah.
lot of people that are like, my last train's at this time,
Yeah.
so I might miss you know. So they go out of their way to come down to Belfast for those shows, you know, and it's just like, right, there's a show out of town, like, let's go over there for a change, like that kind of thing as well, you know.
I think the solution to that Bangor problem is that actually hold, you know, afternoon gigs. You know, if you have afternoon gigs, people aren't going out for their night out. You're not disturbing the regular that goes every Saturday, but at the same time, you're encouraging people to come out at a time when the bar is quiet, and then also those people that are from Belfast can still get a fucking train home.
That's a banger idea.
Or-
That is absolutely banger, because one of the problems, I wouldn't go to those banger shows because it's a pain in the fuck to get to. So I either need to drive and stay sober, or book a B&B in Bangor or something.
Or
Quite
harass our friends in Bangor. Hi.
quite frankly, you know, what's a B&B these days? 45, 50 pound?
More.
Not probably more than that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you're going to be spending that money, I want to go somewhere a wee bit more extravagant than Bangor.
Costnell Bangor.
Or
Bangor.
the other alternative is to basically, do what the Diamond do. I don't know if they still do it. You know, they used to
bus?
do the
like
bus.
Yeah,
the bus.
Or
Still
minibus.
do.
Yeah.
Fun
yeah.
bus.
And I mean, that's, people will be willing to easily, pay 15, 20 up on return up
Yeah.
and back. And,
it's an
And their
idea.
beer buses as well, like you can have the crack and drink and stuff
Yeah.
on the bus as
But
well.
I
so-
think that it also falls into that issue of, well, who is it playing Bangor? You know, a lot of the bands that are going down there to see will play Belfast in the next 2 or 3 months, so why go to all that?
Well, I did
It's a-
enjoy
it's-
just
it's a
getting out of
tricky
town
one.
for a bit
I think-
myself.
a
you
new
know.
venue somewhere that you don't get to,
I think-
we're saying we love Voodoo,
I
but
think their primary target is people that live around Bangor. It's putting on a
Yeah.
gig for people in Bangor. It's not expecting people to come out from Belfast to go down there.
Similarly, we see there's gigs, that happen fairly regular in Lisburn, and in Alexander's Bar specifically, and how many of us go to that? How many of us have been to Alexander's?
A couple of times in.
So
Biting my tongue so hard. I do not want to express my opinion on gigs in Alexander's.
okay, yeah, fair enough.
don't forget, I think though there's a much bigger, because Lisburn's so close to Belfast, there's a much bigger metal scene in Lisburn. The Crawling's from Lisburn, and there's a lot of those bands are from Lisburn.
Yeah.
I'm intentionally being a wee bit sort of argumentative there. There's a lot of people in the metal that live in Lisburn, and I totally get that it's a pain in the dick for them to constantly have to get the bus
To
to Belfast
Yeah.
or travel into Belfast or convince one of their mates to drive. So absolutely put on a show in Lisburn for all the people that live there and that are in the bands. A lot of the bands
Bring back the
that we
night
listen to.
bus.
But the expectation of people from Belfast to go to Lisburn for a night out, to me, is almost, I don't want to say delusional, but it's the only word that's coming to mind. It's like I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to go to Bangor for a night out. Sorry, not Bangor, Lisburn. Especially Alexander's. I think it's I've been there for a couple of gigs. I think it's not a good venue.
Wasn't it just one? Was enough to ruin it.
We've seen Triggerman, and was there not another gig? I thought there was another one. Maybe you're right. Maybe I did swear off it after one. Maybe I'm being really overly harsh. Maybe if I went back, I'd have an absolute blast.
There was a
But,
punk band, but was Buck Egypt, but was that not supporting Triggerman?
Might well have
I
been.
think it was
Might
just the
well
one
have been.
gig. And
It was weird. It was a weird night. Maybe I'm being overly harsh. Maybe we'll go back to Lisburn some night for a night out and go and see some crusty grindcore bands. Who knows?
I think there's one in a few weeks actually. So.
there is.
There is that night.
It's at my sister's house.
Washing my hair that night.
No, I've been to a few good ones there, Poser Holocausts, the Sudden Strike Fest, stuff like that. So it was first time I saw Horrenda was there. First time I saw Abaddon Incarnate was there. I think that was the day someone broke their knee and Abaddon Incarnate's bass head cab caught on fire. So just like nice little memories, nice little moments.
It sounds perfect, Lisburn.
Yeah,
It is.
exactly.
That's Lisburn in a nutshell, isn't it? Did you have a good night? Yeah, things went on fire. People broke their knee.
And everyone still had a good night
Steaming
regardless. So.
dumpster fire and shit.
I'm from Lisburn. I'm allowed to slag it off. The rest of yous aren't.
Speaking of though, Horrenda played a show. It's like we saw them at the Siege as well.
Yes.
And I fucking loved them. But they played again in the Limelight a few weeks ago, and it was with Draconis, Imperial Demonic, Insidious Void. That was only like 2 or 3 weeks after the Acid Age Mortal Backlash show that I think clashed with some other ones. The turnout for that show was fucking insane. Like, it was just people everywhere, you know, really good, healthy turnout. Every single band that played that night was amazing, but see, Horrenda in particular, they were on fire. Like, first song, the frontman was just over the barrier, in people's faces, climbed, like Jonesy would climb like a lot of the stuff, and just climbed over the balcony into like the higher seating area, back down on the barrier, like just screaming in people's faces. And it was, I mean, as far as like, you know, because black metal is quite extreme and stuff like that, it was one of the best I've ever seen. It was phenomenal. So yeah.
I think that pretty much wraps it up for gigs of the year.
The one I'll throw out is one of my gigs of the year was Prodigy in London, which doesn't really tie into the local scene much, but they are playing Belsonic, is it?
They're playing Belsonic next June, 30th of June.
We had sworn off Belsonic, and then Prodigy got announced, and then we bought tickets. So
the Prodigy are like, whenever you get into music when you're really, really young, and there's certain bands that just stick with you your entire life. Prodigy are one of them for me. I've been listening to them since I was about, I think, 11 years old, which is longer ago than I wish to admit right now.
I remember seeing the video for Firestarter for the first time on Top of the Pops, and my little brain just exploded because I'd not seen anything else.
I absolutely love them, and one thing I'd like to talk about in the podcast sometime is arena metal, arena bands, arena prices. Live Nation and Ticketmaster's absolute country that's going on at the minute.
And it's getting worse as well.
But yeah, but I have personally lost interest in big arena shows for the most part. I'll say for the most part, because there is exceptions. I'm starting to find the prices are fucking ridiculous. Being in a crowd that big just becomes a little bit soulless, I think. Standing in front of a merchandise stall, looking at £35 tickets, all of it is starting to become what I don't like about music. And I just, like, Iron Maiden have announced a tour. Iron Maiden, I just said Prodigy is one of those bands I've been listening to since I was a nipper.
Yeah.
Iron Maiden have too, and I am not in any way excited whatsoever about Iron Maiden's next tour, because I've just grown so cynical around music and the music industry when it comes to that scale. And I'm trying. I do have a point to be made here. The point I'm making is, when we went to see the Prodigy in London, it was a 5,000 capacity venue.
Yeah.
Now the Prodigy had just come back after losing Keith Flint. This was their first gig,
first tour
since losing him, since COVID and stuff. They could have done arenas, no fucking bother. Without a doubt, they could have sold out arenas, but they done academy-sized venues. And I just remember being in Brixton Academy, which is one of my favourite venues anywhere, and looking around and going, this is about the right amount of people for a big show. About 5,000 people, just looking around going, everyone here is having a fucking amazing time. Front to the back, side to side, everyone's dancing, everyone's having an amazing time. And I don't feel like it's being lost. I don't feel like the music and the performance is being thrown into this massive void of 10,000 people, you know? And I fucking love that. And I just, for me personally, at this stage, that's about the cap. I don't think music needs to be bigger than that. There's a part of me, you know, the way we've been talking about years that rock and roll's dead and stuff. Part of me wishes it would fucking die, because I want it to come back down to that scale. I want to see Iron Maiden in front of 5,000 people. I want to see Metallica in front of 5,000 people. That'll never, ever happen.
No.
I just think music's got too big. I mean, I've went off on a fucking hell of a tangent here.
No, but because you mentioned it, right? See that Iron Maiden show in Belsonic Ormo Park? it's the most hyped I've been for a show in my life, I think. And then when I got this, I didn't know there was the whole golden circle thing, so I'm sure there was movement, there was mosh pits, whatever. It felt like I was in a sea of mannequins. Like, it felt like I was just surrounded by statues.
Yep.
One thing I remember, because obviously that was a bit disappointing, but I was talking to people after it, and I was like, it is still kind of post-COVID, post-lockdowns, and it's, you know, a major show, so a lot of people that don't go to shows often might have been there, maybe forget how to, you know.
I don't think that's.
But it was just, there was no. I'm not excusing
no,
it.
If anything, you should be more fucking buzzing, more excited,
I was
more ready
trying
to
to
go
go
for it.
nuts, and it was just restricted by just, you know.
I had, that was my 14th time saying Iron Maiden, and it was the first time I didn't enjoy it. I remember coming off the back of this and going home and logging on to Facebook the next day, and everyone going about how amazing that gig was, and I thought, you know what, I'm not gonna be that guy that kind of goes, no, it wasn't, it was shit, because it wasn't shit. It's not what I'm trying to say. But personally, I thought there was a lot of problems with that gig that made me not enjoy it as much as I should have. Number one, volume levels. It wasn't loud, right? Any time, and I'm talking about the 13 times previous that I've went to a Maiden show, I have sang my heart out, right? Because these are songs I've been listening to since I was so wee, you know. I've loved Iron Maiden my entire life. I know all the lyrics to all the songs. I fucking love it. Every time I went to like start singing, all I could hear was me.
Same.
Do you know what I mean? And then I become really, really conscious and aware of that, and I was like,
still did anyway.
I can't. You know, like when I remember seeing them in the Odyssey a couple of years back. You know,
Killswitch.
Yes. Amazing. I loved that night. That was incredible. I walked out of the Odyssey in agony, like literally in pain from head to toe. I remember standing talking to someone that was like, I can't stand to talk to you. I have to go home and lie down. I hurt all over. Brilliant gig. At Belsonic, to me, it was just like, I can't get into this. And as you say, everyone was just standing there looking at the band.
Don't get me wrong. You pay money to go to a gig. You do what you want to do. Like, it's not like we're dictating how you should be at a gig. No, but absolutely. It's the kind of like a lot of people that I saw, you know, it was just passive observers. I'd say they were just there, sort of witnessing, and then went home. And like, obviously they enjoyed themselves. They had a good night. We get involved. That's it. Yeah.
And I was kind of gutted because I like literally just missed out on Golden Circle tickets. They were apparently handing out wristbands, and a few friends went and got some, and they were like, "Come and get wristbands," and I went out, and the guy was just like, "Nope." I was like, "Fuck's sake." And I think getting into that little area at the front maybe would have been where the people were going to been a wee bit more active and being closer to the stage. It might have sounded a bit louder, but for me, that whole gig just missed the mark. And the other thing, and I know this is so minor and so petty, but there's something about, like, say when you see Iron Maiden at Download, right, and along both sides of the stage is big Download banners, or if you see Behemoth at Bloodstock, it's just these massive Bloodstock things with maybe something like Scuzz TV. Seeing the Iron Maiden stage set up, right, surrounded by green Magner logos, it just felt a bit, you know, overly commercialized. And
but it is.
I know that's just how.
Because in terms of the
music
volume
industry
levels as well, extremely residential area. You know, I assume that's why it was a bit quieter and stuff.
So,
I could probably do an entire podcast on Iron Maiden. So I'm trying to
bit the buds
soon. No.
So for Prodigy, we just need to get down really early, get Golden Circle and or whatever it's going to be, and get near the front. And
drink a lot.
I will say, like, that Prodigy gig, like, getting the tickets was really stressful because we almost missed out on tickets, and part of me is very glad that a lot of the music we listen to is not popular.
The London one. Yeah. Because
that's it. They could have sold out arenas. They insisted on playing the smaller ones, but it meant that the demand for the tickets was horrifying. But we got it, and it was. And as you said, like, everyone in the venue was just going.
That's what I love, and it's again. I think the fact that it's dance music, there's a big difference in approach to going to call it a rave if you want to, opposed to a gig, you know.
The tribute to Keith was
you're there to get involved.
Outstanding as well.
It wasn't over the top or sort of didn't feel like they were milking it or anything like that. It was just, here's a wee bit of Firestarter and here's some
the lights basically turned into Flint.
Show
so
with
behind
this
like it just looked like you could see it was like the outline of Flint. And
gonna take another quick break.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
oh really?
I gotta
Definitely.
pee.
Yes, and we'll be back very soon.
Oh, another 20 minutes.
I think we've covered enough gigs. Maybe not every single gig. So as someone said earlier, if we missed your gig, I'm sure it was great.
Most gigs were.
But alcohol has a terrible impact on the brain. So we're going to talk about releases. And I don't want to limit this to local stuff. I just want to talk about what came out this year that you listened to a lot or you thought was fucking brilliant. I'm going to open this up with Ghost's new album. I don't know if you guys listened to it. I know you did, Claire, because
I had no choice.
You didn't have a fucking choice in the matter.
It really grew on me. I'm not a big Ghost fan, but I ended up really liking that
we're
album.
talking about a year with a lot of big releases by bands that I'm into, and I have to admit, my album of the year is Ghost Impera. Impera? Is that what it's called?
Imperia, yeah, something like that.
Imperia, Imperva, something like that. Actually think it's my favourite Ghost album. And I know a lot of Ghost fans would be like, are you fucking mental? But the songs on that album I think are incredible. I might well be. You know me, like I love a good sing-along. I love a good catchy hook. And to me, this is, in terms of catchy hooks, this is their strongest album. Like, it is just brilliant start to finish. Trying to think of names of songs off it right now. Spillways is great.
Yeah. Little Sunshine, Call Me Little Sunshine.
That's another banger. Hunter of the Moon, something like that.
Yeah, Hunter's Moon.
Hunter's Moon.
Mariana Cross. I don't know, is that on it? Is it? I can't remember.
I can't remember the name of the tracks. It's not coming to me right now.
I don't do song names.
But I have rinsed the absolute fuck out of that album. I love it, and I'm busting to see Ghost again because I want to hear those songs live. I've always liked Ghost. That's an absolute lie. I used to hate Ghost with a seething passion. It used to be one of those bands where it was like, I like one song but I hate everything else. I like two songs but I hate everything else. And now I've grown to absolutely love them. Absolutely brilliant. I'm going to be that dickhead and go, I bought it on vinyl. But the artwork...
You've turned into a vinyl wanker this year.
The artwork is incredible as well.
I've just released a picture disc of it as well.
I know. Like,
every time you do this.
Fucking bands keep doing that. Malevolent's done it as well, where they release the album and I'm straight on going, I'm going to support the band, I'm going to buy the vinyl, and I'm straight onto it. And then 4 months, 6 months, 8 months later, they release like a better version of it. And it's like, thanks for making all
they've just put it up again. They're doing another 100 signed.
I don't know if mine's signed.
Mine's not like
I think it was for this weekend.
I bought the picture disc.
But it's not signed.
I don't know. Maybe it is. Okay, I'll check it. Can't remember.
So that's one of my big releases of the year. Is that Ghost album? I absolutely adore it. Anyone else? Big albums of the year?
It's been a few, to be honest. Yeah, it's been a pretty decent year for music. I think people, having fuck all better to do than to go and write music for 2 years.
Yeah.
A couple of big ones. One that I probably the Malevolence album we've talked about there. Like, yes. I spun the absolute fucking shite out of that. And then another one was actually Hypocrisy's latest one, Worship.
Okay.
Which, like, there's a couple of real, it's really just back to what I want Hypocrisy to be. And that's fucking brilliant.
I'm not overly familiar with them. What kind of stuff is it?
Kind of like that Swedish death type like stuff, and it's your man Peter Tygren, so he's done like stuff with Till Lindemann. He was the original, the other half of Lindemann, but he's sort of like this. He's one of these people that's fucking stupidly talented and hate him, but he's put out Hypocrisy, and like that honestly, like that it's fucking brilliant. Like that, it's a really good album, and I like spun that so much this year. and Malevolence, you know, like, you know, suppose I'm more like, you're like me with Ghost, if you know what I mean. So like, with Malevolence, whereas I'm like you with Malevolence, if you kind of catch my drift. That's very poorly explained.
I know what you're trying to say. You've been a fan from Ghost from the start, and Wayne is a recent convert. Wayne has been a fan of Malevolence from the start, and you're a recent convert.
I really need
that almost deserves applause.
Because you know, decipher my fucking hieroglyphics, you know, which is what that was.
I mean, I think it's that Malevolence album, Malicious Intent, to me I think it's actually fucking mental that a Malevolence album came out this year and it's not my album of the year. That's fucking weird.
I'm surprised for one. So
like, I mean, it's so fucking close. The only way I'm coming down to it and saying that the Ghost album is ahead is literally through play counts. I played the Ghost album more than I played the Malevolence album. If someone said to me, you can only listen to one of these albums for the rest of your life, it'd be the Malevolence album. But I listen to the Ghost one more. So I'm saying that I have to confess that is my album of the year. The Malevolence one is fucking brilliant, but it's very heavily front loaded in that the first half of the album is significantly better than the second half of the album.
100%.
Once you get to Higher Power, which is smack bang in the middle of the album, and it's that sort of hardcore ballad that they're so well known for. And it's another fucking banger. Like, it's exceptional. Music video for it and all, superb. After that, don't get me wrong, there isn't a bad song on the album.
Yeah.
But it's not as strong as the first half. You've some great guests and all. You've got Matt Heafy coming on from Trivium.
Mm-hmm.
I confess I'm not the biggest fan of Trivium, but I get that the guys are, so it's probably a dream come true to work with them. And also you've got the guy from Kubla Khan,
Matt Honeycutt.
Matt Honeycutt.
Is it Matt Honeycutt?
It is. Yeah.
He does guest vocals on one of them, and he's superb on that. But there's wee bits of that song that sound just a wee bit too much like previous Malevolence songs. So I'm kind of like, it's a good song. It's definitely a good song. But the first half of the album, like Stillwater Runs Deep,
Life Sentence, and there's another absolute ripper on there. That
Unbroken Glass is one of the best songs
That's
I've heard of
those
my life,
three songs
this year.
Are just fucking superb. Like,
the one thing I will say about the other stuff, because that's like the really heavy kind of stuff, you know, but they do a lot with melody this time around compared to the other releases that I really appreciate. See, to be fair though, the album I've listened to most this year was actually an album that came out last year, I'd say. Soothsayers, Echoes of the Air.
Mm-hmm.
And that's only because I was introduced to them at the Siege.
Yeah.
And they blew my mind. I got the vinyl. Then they played Crypt of the Riff, so I was more familiar with the songs and stuff. So like, but in terms of releases this year, so there is the Malevolence one I fucking loved. Bob Dylan's Price of Life.
Superb.
Unreal.
Good show. I forgot that came out this year, yeah.
Dark Funeral released an album in like February, like We Are the Apocalypse. And I wouldn't have been like that big into them. I ended up reviewing the album early in the year and loved it. And they were playing Bloodstock. They were one of the bands that played Bloodstock, and it was just phenomenal hearing it live. So like, it was really good. Other stuff, there was a southern band, Eternal Hell Cracks, I think they're called. They were playing the Siege, but we ended up missing them because I think we went home a little bit earlier on the first night. But that album, start to finish, is like very close to being just an absolute masterpiece when it comes to black metal. Like, it's phenomenal as well. Trying to think of other ones. Stranglewire's album was fantastic, start to finish.
I haven't got a chance to listen to that yet, but it's on my list. Like, I need to give that a listen. Yeah, definitely.
Another one was Nomadis' album came out literally yesterday, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
I've listened to it once, obviously I'm not familiar with it.
Yeah.
But just that one listen, like, I was genuinely blown away. And it's a bit, I don't know, pretentious maybe to say or whatever, but it did feel like a journey almost, you know, because they have a nice mix of different genres and stuff, and they have like the slightest of proggy elements to things, and I mean the last song is called The Passage, so it just feels like a but I can't wait to listen to it more.
I threw that on this morning. I confess I haven't given it a good proper listen. As you say, it only came out yesterday.
Yeah.
But what I've listened to, I've liked, and like we've all been going to see Nomadis for how many years now? When did they come onto the scene?
Well, they came on in 2019. Or did they?
I think it was 2019 was Metal the
about them.
Masses.
Yeah, about 3, maybe 4 years ago.
I'd say though,
Maybe
it's
2018.
once they got the current lineup in place, is when they really, in my opinion, started to kind of flourish.
But there's always that, for me, and I've said it a million times before, it's always more fun watching bands play songs that you're familiar with and especially if you can sing along with them and stuff. So getting that material out, I know it's been a long time coming, but it's been a lot of challenging years, so getting that out there, I think, is a massive fucking tick in the box for Nomadis. It's good to see them having an album out. Maybe there's an argument to be said that shorter EPs might have been better to deliver them, drip feeders rather than having us wait all this time for an album.
But they did have singles, but
but it's out there now. It's time to get to know those songs, and it's time to start going to those gigs and hearing songs that the lyrics to, and you can kind of join in and get a wee bit more interactive with. So
definitely,
and as I say, we'll probably maybe on the next podcast we'll be a wee bit more in depth in that album once it's sunk in. One, I was going to say local release, but a Dublin band called Lost a Life put out a 5-track EP maybe 2 weeks ago, and it's a fucking banger. It is really good. They don't try to reinvent the hardcore wheel in any way whatsoever. This is just straight up beat the fuck out of your mate's music.
Pretty sure I seen a comment on Irish Hardcore going, just spin kick my granny down the stairs. I was like,
I feel like I'm too old to use this phrase, but it fucking slaps. It really does. And I'm pretty sure they're playing, is it Infest? In Voodoo. There's a hardcore show in Belfast.
It's like the week after Malevolence and Trivium, isn't it?
Is it?
I think it is.
Right, so we need to get over our injuries for that one. I can't wait to see them live. I think a couple of the guys have been in previous hardcore bands. There is guest vocals from Apples from Last Wishes. I've never heard him do vocals before and stuff.
I mean, listen, didn't realize.
I don't really know how else to explain it, because I know that hardcore can be a little one-dimensional. I don't think anyone would argue with that. But regardless, doing it right is still a fucking craft, and they've done it absolutely right. The production on it is really fucking good, because sometimes I think about these little, I think sometimes within the hardcore scene, there's a real ethic of doing things DIY. They're not going to go into a studio that's going to charge them £800. I'm assuming here, because I don't know. They're not going to go into a big expensive studio. So if they've done that DIY, they've done a hell of a fucking job on it. It sounds crispy and crunchy as fuck, and it's really, really good beat downy aggressive hardcore. The vocals on it are, some of the depth to the vocals is really fucking good. I can't wait to hear these songs live. Only criticism I would have is, please post the vocals online. I wish bands would post the vocals. Not the vocals, the lyrics.
I was gonna say,
get the lyrics online, because I'm fucking useless at picking up what the actual words are. That would actually be in terms of local releases or Irish releases, that would be my pick of the year. Lost a Life. If you're into hardcore and you haven't heard it, go pick it up. It's great. It's fucking great.
I'd say I am rather guilty of, I haven't really listened to a lot of local music this year. I haven't even really listened to a lot of music in general, which is probably bad sitting here on a music podcast. I think Song of the Year potentially for me, we touched on earlier, the TWKOM with Scott Vogel.
Yes.
That song, oh god yes, that just ticked all the boxes. And then releases, probably all into the hardcore, the Terror album's brilliant. I mean, I was sitting realising I'm wearing the t-shirt from that album and stuff, am I not? So it's like, because we seen them in Barcelona and it was beautiful.
Seen them at Outbreak as well.
And seen them at Outbreak. My face got busted, worth it. And then other ones would be the Mind Force album, again, was just beautiful hardcore.
I only listened to that a couple of times, but it was like, yeah, that's fucking great.
And the Get the Shot album was, again...
Just that I want to touch on that Terror album, because Terror are a band that I kind of think to myself, how long can they stay this angry? Right? I'm just waiting for it. Like, at one stage, they're going to turn around and go, you know, we're getting a wee bit older, we're getting a wee bit more tired and stuff. Nope, not Terror. Scott Vogel is never, ever going to release an album where he doesn't sound like the angriest cunt on the planet.
But at the same time, he's such a teddy bear. Because, like, at Outbreak and stuff, like, I mean, it's weird.
He looks like your dad's golf instructor, you know what I mean?
People take the piss and stuff out of him, but at the same time, like, I did get him out. Like, he stood on stage at Outbreak, and I did this whole thing. He's like, hardcore's not perfect. And then it was like, you know, because he's from Buffalo, New York, and this was a few weeks after that shooting. And, you know, there's the whole speech. It's a bit cheesy, but it's the, you know, hardcore's not perfect, but we try. We tolerate each other, we love each other, and we try to make the world a better place.
I think he's a fucking
And it's
legend.
just like, I got all emotional, and yeah, that's exactly what we may accidentally beat the fuck out of each other.
Like,
but
on that
positive
album,
way.
there's a track where you've got George from Corpse Grinder. And I remember seeing that. I remember thinking, why is George from Corpse Grinder on a Terror album? This doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. And then I heard the song and went,
It makes sense.
this
It
makes
works.
all of the
Yeah.
sense. Not only that, this is one of the best songs ever fucking written. It's exceptionally good. Like, that Terror album is just it's great. Like, it's fucking great.
Yeah.
The Get the Shot album that you mentioned as well is another absolute fucking banger. Now, I do think they suffer a wee teeny bit from some of their songs sounding a wee bit too similar. There's certain wee riffs, certain wee hooks in certain songs that you can go, that sounds like from that one. But that being said, I still think they're a brilliant band. I think they're a band that are just starting to get a lot more traction.
Seeing them live, fucking hell, they were insane.
Live, they were fucking brilliant. Like, we went and seen Dying Wish, Terror, Get the Shot, and Lionheart. Now, I am a massive Lionheart fan. I fucking love that band. But watching them play off the back of Terror and Get the Shot, it was like,
Yeah.
this just feels weak.
They've a new album out soon as well.
Compared to what you just
It's not the
played
same
after,
momentum.
you know. As I say, love the band, but don't play after two bands that are just way more aggressive and energetic than you are.
I completely forgot about the Terror album, and it's because I mainly listen to it in the gym. And it is such good gym music.
Yeah.
The same with Malicious
It's
Intent.
real,
The
just
first
getting
time
you
I listened to it
pumped
was
up.
exactly like unbelievable stuff.
No-
From the
another-
get-go, it just doesn't stop.
Another one of my favourite releases of the year, Comeback Kid put out a new album. Comeback Kid are a band that I've always been aware of. I've seen them at festivals. I kind of know their big hits. Never really
Seen them
given
in
them the
Belfast.
time. We did see them at Belfast,
Strange
which
Union,
was
yeah.
good crack.
Funny. Yeah.
But I've never really like sat down and listened to their albums, got into them. But they released a track with Joe Do something or other from Gojira.
Joe DePontier.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's the
Yeah.
guy. It's Comeback Kid with Joe DePontier. And that just really grabbed my attention. I listened to that and I was like, this is something else. So based off of the back of that, I thought, I'm going to get the album, I'm going to give it the time of day. And it was just another album that I just ripped the fuck out of.
I
listened
suspect
to
that's
it
an
so
album
much.
I really enjoy, but I didn't know what I was listening to, because a lot of the time
It's
you listen to music, I
superb.
listen to it, and I don't know what I'm listening to.
And again, busting to see Comeback Kid now that they've got an album out that I'm just like, and I need to work my way backwards now because I think they're a band I really, really like. I mean, they're a hardcore band, but again, there's a wee bit more melody in there. There's a wee bit more punk sensibilities, and I would even say that maybe like sort of like touching just touching on the edge of pop punk.
I am
some of the
potentially about to
songs.
really embarrass myself, but Comeback Kid, their like maybe big song is the this time things are gonna be different. No,
I'm not entirely certain.
because that
Don't
is a wee
know.
bit pop punky.
They do have a wee bit of
Yeah.
that about them. I admit it.
I remember seeing them at like Full Force and stuff and having a really... I'm fairly certain it was them that I thought I was being clever and I tried to cut through the pit and I got simultaneously kicked in the tit and in the ass.
Oh.
So did this like beautiful pirouette, and woke up the next day with a boot print right here and on the butt as well. It was
nightmare.
You know, I really should know better at this stage.
There's probably an honourable mention in there actually for Venom Prison's album.
Yes.
I like that. I Erebos, I think it's called. There's some fucking absolutely belting tunes on it. Like one of my favourite tunes of the year actually, Pain of Oasis. Very slow, fucking quite depressing song, but it's fucking class. Like really good. Whenever you were filming the Raven Light video and you sort of mentioned about having somebody go into the sea and stuff, it reminded me of that because it's very similar. They have somebody fucking about in the sea as well in that one, and I just sort of was trying to draw comparisons in a roundabout way, but yeah, I thought it was an absolute stunner of an album.
I think an album we really should touch on is we have had a sneaky peek at the new Molar Bear album.
Yeah, so I think that there's actually probably kind of do want to call back to Nomadis and stuff, but certainly obviously with Molar Bear here, they have a new album coming out. I think it's the 23rd of December.
Yeah.
You Will Need Gods. So we've had a wee bit of a sneaky peek at it, and we've had a bit of a wee bit of a listen to some of the previews of what's to come, and to be honest with you, it's class. Like I'm really enjoying it. There's a song on there. A song on there called Hatchet Storm, and it's an absolute fucking ripper.
Yeah.
Is that the one with the crazy music video they put out?
No, that's Omega Supreme,
okay.
Which is, by the way, if you haven't checked that video out, check it out.
Yeah, the riff in that song is unbelievable as well.
I haven't seen it actually.
It's the music video could only come from the minds of those guys, but Omega Supreme, and then Hatchet Storm is an absolute belter, and then actually the self-titled track You Will Need Gods is also fucking great. So I think what I'm trying to say is that we're in for bit of a treat here, and it's certainly an album to me that feels an awful lot darker from the departures.
It's very reflective of modern times and stuff that's happening.
Yeah, so I think obviously Molar Bear have always been about the puns and the sort of the catchy Party McFly, and the sort of the puns in there. Stork Lord didn't do that.
I think there was one.
There's maybe one or two, but then again there's sort of working titles along the way, and then we're now with You Will Need Gods, and again it feels like a much more a darker sort of like reflection.
Yeah, and the album title alone, like You Will Need Gods going forward, almost can't.
Great artwork as well. So I've spent a bit of time with that album there, and I have to say I'm excited for the boys to release that. To be honest,
I mean, I know we're meant to be done with gigs, but we saw Molar Bear earlier in the year supporting Survivalist in Speakeasy.
It was an awkward wee show,
and it was so funny because those fellas, their soundboards, their pedal boards are so big they could not fit on stage. They ended up literally ended up on the floor with the pedal boards just standing kind of awkwardly.
Was it Dara that was like just over to the left, kind of off the stage, just standing with
the pedal, and the rest of them on stage then couldn't move because the entire floor space was taken up with all the boards. They just stood there like, don't move in case you knock something.
Whenever they released Stork Lord, I remember we covered it on the podcast, and I think I give it we used to score albums back then because we used to try to be like actual reviewers. Fuck that, I'm done with that. But I think I remember giving it like a 7 out of 10 and going, it's alright, there's a couple of bangers on there, but for the most part it's okay. And then like the following podcast I had to correct myself, and it was like, I've listened to this like another 5 or 6 times, and this is far from a 7 out of 10. That album took me a wee while to grow on me. See, whenever I stick this on, now I admit I think I've only listened to it through once. I may If I'm honest, I may not have even got to the end, but only because there was fucking
Stuff happening,
shit like that.
Yeah.
It was instantly likable. It wasn't. It didn't feel like I'm gonna need to listen to this a few times before it sinks in, before it clicks. It was like, nah, this is good. This is good from the off, right away.
Yeah, man.
I'm looking forward to it. I don't even want to listen to it again until it's out and I've got it in my music collection and I can go, yeah, this is.
I think they're a band that just. I think they don't get the support in certainly the Belfast scene that I think they deserve.
But I think there's an element of them not promoting themselves in the way that some other bands do.
I think they certainly care. I mean, but I think whenever they go down to like the likes of play down in Cork and play shows for the guys down there, like the support and the representation that they get down there versus what they get up here is totally different.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's disappointing. I think there's a wider discussion on sort of the Belfast scene as it would be and how healthy it is. But I think certainly you've got it doesn't matter. You go out and support everyone. And, I think that's something that like they're not they're well supported down there, well liked. Why can't we fucking do it? I'm not saying that
just a difference in taste.
Yeah, but in saying that, it could be set to change because when I was listening to the album, my main takeaway, because I really enjoyed it, but I was like, this is gonna be so heavy live. This is gonna be so crushing live. They're on the Crypt of the Rift bill in 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So I'm hoping they're going to play some of those songs live because it's just before the album comes out.
Addy Henderson's doing double duty on that one, so he's playing 2 sets. He's doing a set with Molar Bear and he's doing a set with Soma, who we've seen there recently as well.
God Alone.
Soma
and,
with God Alone and stuff. Actually, that was a fucking gig.
It was a great gig.
That was a great gig. But Soma as well, real... Like I think they're pretty tasty. Like
yeah.
Anyway, that's
not a band I'm familiar with.
Well, just before we jump off the topic, because I know we cover gigs and stuff, but for me, seeing Grey Stag again after like 3-year wait or whatever it was so fucking cathartic, and just like that is a band you need to see live.
I haven't seen them in ages. I need to see them again actually.
And the last time I seen them was at Bloodstock.
Same actually, I think.
Yeah.
They've recorded an album, I think, so they're set to release it in due time. I am very excited for that one.
That God Alone gig was great, but I think just even moving back to I suppose Nomadis there, I think that's an incredibly ambitious album that they've put out there. I don't think there's too many people that are pitching at that level.
Mm-hmm.
And what they've went out and they've created something that very ambitious, very very good, and it's I've listened to it today twice, and I sort of went, well, I'm familiar with all these songs. I know them. They're good, and class. I have to say it's I'm fucking excited. The boys are excited to fucking release that too. Because they've been sitting on it for so long. I know they re-recorded the drums because I know Josh recorded the drums initially, and then Brett's now re-recorded the drums. All sorts of business, but that Nomadis album's fucking class. So I just want to.
This the second release by Distortion Project Records, because they did the Sky Pilot one.
The Sky Pilot album came out this year,
and then Nomadis, and this is their second, isn't it?
That's one.
And Love Horns is coming. I mean, like the Distortion Project Records, it's fairly new, but it seems to be doing well. Like a lot of those bands, like you've got and then a lot of those bands seem to be getting UK tours and stuff.
I think that's one I forgot about was the Sky Pilot release, because it fucking sounded so good. It was a great one.
That leads on to something I want to talk about, but I think we should take a quick break.
Sure, take a break.
2022 is almost wrapped up. We have a few things to look forward to. 2023, there's a lot to look forward to as far as I'm concerned. Has anyone got anything in 2023 that they're kind of hyped for?
Malevolence.
I mean, that's the fucking obvious answer, isn't it?
And I love that it's just kicking off the year.
I know they're supporting Trivium. I'm not a big fan of Trivium. I don't care. I'm there for the Malevolence, 100%. As soon as tickets went on sale, I booked it, and it just feels like, we've been there from the start with Malevolence. First album came out, I was on that. Seen them in Fibber McGee's, seen them in a bunch of different venues in Dublin. Seen them at Outbreak.
I think we've seen them about 7 or 8 times at this stage.
Yeah, and I've seen that band grow and grow and grow. They're now doing like arenas, supporting bands like, was it Architects they went on tour with and supported? Fuck me. And now we're getting to see them in the Ulster Hall in Belfast, and it's just clear that band is the future. Like, they're going somewhere. There's no doubt about it whatsoever.
Yeah. When that was announced, I just take it straight away.
You were the one that told us, because we were on holiday and I didn't have signal, and I literally just, whenever I got signal, the message popped up and it was like that Malevolence news or something, and it was like, wait, what?
But so I obviously got a ticket, and was just imagining mosh pits in the Ulster Hall. Do you think they're going to be allowed, or?
We've seen Hip Read in the Ulster Hall.
Oh, it was a long time ago.
That was the first night I met you, actually.
They'll struggle not to.
I think it's one of those things where, you're not going to be able to control the crowd.
Because that's what I was thinking. Massive venue, the mosh pit's going to be but then I was like, what if they have extra security or what? But I think it's going to be fine.
And I think you've got that, with it being Trivium and Malevolence, you're going to get that sort of, I think it's going to be mostly a metal crowd anyway.
Yeah.
So you're going to get that. We've seen it before at lots of gigs, like Bloodstock especially. That sort of hardcore crowd meets metal crowd. I think moshing will be fine.
Encouraged.
Yeah. Circle pits especially.
In the same way Phil's trying to encourage the cat.
I think
tried to be really subtle about it, but
I think that's gonna be a fucking ripper of a gig. I've always been like, see with Trivium, I don't know where you guys stand on Trivium.
I like them.
I remember way back in 2007, they were becoming really, really popular. Trivium were getting really, really big. If you looked at the festival lineups and stuff you've seen each year, they were going up a bit, up a bit, up a bit. But at the same time, there was kind of a backlash against them. I remember at Download, there was a lot of people going around. It was kind of like they were the band to rip on.
Yeah.
They were almost like the band that came before Black Veil Brides and My Chemical Romance and stuff. It was kind of like I literally remember people saying, if you like Trivium, you don't like metal, right? Which is kind of, I don't want to get into that whole fucking metal elitist bullshit. But there was that sort of backlash against them. I was never a fan of them, and I think the thing that wound me up with Trivium is that early doors, they always seemed to be jumping on other people's sounds. It seemed to be like they'd put an album out and they'd like, this is our Megadeth album, and then they'd put an album out and go, this is our Metallica album, and then they'd put another album out and they'd go, now we're jumping on the metalcore bandwagon. I always found like they struggle to find their own sound. I did like the Crusade. They put out the Crusade, and I think songs like "Pull Harder" on the Strings of Your Murder. And there's another couple of few songs on
like
that.
Light of the Flies. Is that one?
Yeah. I kind of liked it, but they were a band that just never gelled with me.
I think Hellfest one year, or did they play Hellfest?
They played Hellfest.
We tried to watch them and then just went no food.
I think I'm gonna draw a line in the sand and go, you know what? I'm gonna try and get over my preconceptions of this band, work out what they've been playing live recently and listen to those songs and try and come afresh to Trivium, because regardless of what you think of them, they've been fucking hammering at it. Like, I don't think there's any doubt of their work ethic, and there's a lot of other bands that I know kind of respect them and really look up to them. So
like, you're gonna have any energy left after Malevolence. By the time it's over, you're gonna just be like crawling out anyway.
We'll see.
I think they released a couple of albums there, like pretty much, an album a year. And to be honest, like I don't know if I would call myself a fanatical fan or anything, but I like them. Shogun was an absolute fucking class album. They took a bit of a dive there whenever they started working with David Draymond and started trying to sing a bit. instead of doing Trivium things.
Your man from the start?
Yeah.
Did they work with him?
Yeah, he produced one of their albums or something, or two of their albums, but like he tried it.
Completely cunted this bear. Look at the state.
It's a write up.
Like, I don't mean to like knock the flow of the podcast, but Mark, would you grab me a beer and a cup, please?
Oh dear.
Trivium, they come out with a couple of ones. There was one album was particularly really good recently, was The Sin and the Sentence. Like, I thought it was class, and I don't think you're going to be disappointed by seeing what they do live. I've caught them a few times at various festivals across the years, and to be honest, they rarely fuck it up. They're a good live band, and Matt Heafy's a good frontman for them, so I think you'll have a good time at them. Like, there's no problem with that one.
I mean, for me, right, so Ascendancy and Shogun, good albums, but I never really paid much attention to them. I think they were like background music for me when I was playing video games, like maybe Tony Hawk's or something like that. And then they just sort of like dropped off for me. Like, I just never listened to them, never really thought about them much and stuff. But then, forgive me for forgetting his name, but the frontman of Blurred Reality was saying to me like the In the Court of the Dragon King, like the new album was worth listening to and stuff. I did really enjoy it, surprisingly. Like,
it's a listen, actually.
Quite different from those earlier stuff, which is to be expected because bands change, they grow and stuff.
Definitely feel they're going to be headlining Bloodstock this year. Heard it here first.
I think it might be Halloween.
The final headliner's getting announced on Tuesday. Yeah. So I'm not sure. It depends how quickly we can edit this to get this out.
It's definitely not going to be Pantera.
So we hear.
Yeah.
I mean, they've said consistently that they haven't got them. I think that would be
okay. Very, very briefly, because it's been mentioned on, and I'm just all about the like tangents on the podcast at the minute. How does everyone feel about a Pantera reunion in quote marks? If you're listening to the audio only,
I'm happy enough about it, to be honest. Like,
happy enough isn't enthused.
I was never particularly into Pantera, and I think your man's a cock. So I don't have any interest in it.
Well, he's a bellend, but Pantera were good. So
I think,
I think the thing about it is it's like, for me, it's Pantera, played live, and it's like, are you going to ever see Pantera live again? Are you ever going to see those live? Are those songs actually performed live?
Well, the thing is, those songs have been getting performed live for the last bunch of years. Phil Anselmo's been touring with what do you call
the Illegals?
That's right. Because I remember at Hellfest, we went to the toilets and they were on a stage, and I was forced to listen to them. And
it's a full-blown Pantera set. So it's already been happening.
I think when it comes to this whole thing, there's obviously Phil in himself is a whole category of discussion. So you can have Phil as Phil, you can have Phil as frontman, I suppose. But for me, it was like, right, Benante, fantastic drummer. Zakk Wylde, I was a bit it's just gonna be Dive Bomb City, but I heard that he's been taking time to learn the songs. He's got Dimebag's guitar tech to help him out, and apparently he's using Dimebag's like pedals and everything else, so it's like being taken really seriously. So I'm kind of reconsidering.
But if you also look at the relationship that those two had between, like the relationship between,
like, In This River and stuff,
but not even that, but like that In This River, like, well, I suppose that was a tribute.
It surmises stuff
afterwards, but like, they were good fucking mates. And actually their guitar styles aren't fucking dissimilar, so I think that he's, if there's anybody ever going to do it, it's Zakk Wylde. Like, but I'm not that pissed off about it. People are pissed off about it somehow, but like, do I want to hear like Pantera songs played live, played loud at a fucking festival? Am I going to go to see it? I probably fucking would.
I think that's the thing. If it was at a festival, I'd probably go check it out. If it came to, say, like Dublin or something, it would be a bit more iffy about whether I'd go in the first place. But I probably would, to be fair.
I've got a fairly progressive attitude to metal. I think it's time for the legends and all these old bands to kind of
fuck off.
Time for them. They've had their time. Please go away. You know what I mean? One of the bands I always go back to when I make this point is Slayer. A fucking massive fan of Slayer. Absolutely love the band. Some of my best memories of live music is seeing Slayer. but I felt it was the right time for them to hang things up. After Jeff Hanneman died, they kept it going for me personally, just the right amount of time. Let's keep this going. Let's keep Slayer alive. Gary Holt filled that slot perfectly. I think.
Yeah.
But it came a time where it was like, let's knock this in the head, and I think it's time for so many bands to follow suit. For us to be in that period where a lot of those old bands are kind of like hanging up their boots, to kind of go, well, let's bring back Pantera. It's like, fuck me, I thought we'd finally got to the point where we're moving forward, but no, apparently we're not. We're moving back again. We're gonna fucking dig up Pantera from its
almost literally
hypothetical grave. You know what I mean? And it's just like, it's a fucking cash grab. It really is, because they were, as I say, they were touring those songs
anyway.
They were doing it anyway. They've literally just changed the label and now are calling it Pantera.
Yeah,
because they
members,
know
obviously.
that's, how much are you going to pay for a ticket to see Phil Anselmo and the Illegal Eagles playing Pantera songs versus how much are you going to pay for a ticket for Pantera?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
That's why it is Pantera.
It feels like an excuse to make a bigger deal out of something that isn't a big deal, because it's not Pantera, because you can't have Pantera without Dimebag Darrell.
Yeah, and Vinny as well.
So I'm in the, I know that people are angry about it. I'm not angry about it, but I'm really fucking cynical about it.
I'm in the it has no interest.
And I've no interest in seeing it, because I really think, as you say, Claire, I think Phil Anselmo was a cock. So I don't want to go and see bands. I know that I can differentiate the music from the art and all that. That's not the expression. But you know what I'm saying. Yeah. There's enough bands out there that I don't need to do that. I don't need to make excuses to listen to shitheads, because there's enough bands out there I can listen to.
Especially festivals.
Yeah.
Chances are there's going to be something better on one of the smaller stages.
I would rather see an amateur band play amateur music, knowing that they're decent people, than listen to a fucking shithead play good songs. That's my approach and that's my attitude to it. And there it is. How the fuck did we get talking about this?
You deliberately pointed us towards Pantera.
Yeah.
This is all on you.
But Pantera aren't playing Belfast, though. Who is playing Belfast?
And they're not playing Bloodstock either.
Gojira are playing Belfast next year.
With a
Hopefully.
stack lineup as well.
The classiest band in metal, as far as I'm concerned. There's something really, really fucking cool about Gojira. And I know a lot of people weren't fans of that last album, but I really liked it.
Is it the one that came out during lockdown?
Yeah. What was it called?
Fortitude.
Yeah. I think it's great. I really, really like it. I don't know why people disliked it. I think maybe they thought it was a wee bit more accessible, would you say? I don't know.
I mean, I thought, was it Magma? The one before was just fucking was class.
Magma's superb.
Unreal album. And then I just like this one. I don't think it reached the same level of, like, didn't reach the lofty heights, and didn't do it as much for me. To be honest with you, it's probably actually overdue a revisit by myself, to be honest. But even that, like, here, see the bill they've got, like Alien Weaponry and
Employed to Serve. Yeah.
Like I'm big Employed to Serve fan, and I can't wait to fucking see them.
I have seen Employed to Serve live a bunch of times, and I've always enjoyed it. I think they're an incredible live band. I don't know how you feel about this. I've always thought they were like the UK's answer to Code Orange. But I'm talking early Code Orange. I'm not talking what they're doing now.
I will ignore what they're doing now.
Can't see the.
You don't see that? No, that's fair. That's fair.
I think he's literally went for their
hardcore. Not just because there's a girl in the band. Like, I'm not latching on to that. There's something about their music and their riffs, and that there's a certain experimental and almost industrial sound to their music. I think that the Code Orange have.
I think
but I've never been able to, like, get into their music. I've tried listening to the albums, and it all just kind of flows through me, and nothing catches, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
But recently I was like, right, I'm going to take the latest album, I'm going to take the 4 songs off it that they've been playing live, and I'm just going to rattle that and see if anything kind of clicks. And it is starting to click. There's a few songs off that I'm like looking forward to hearing that live. So Employed to Serve, I would be as keen to see Employed to Serve live as I would Gojira right now.
I'm very much in the same boat, and it's for me. It was always about Eternal Forward Motion, like that particular tune was the one for me from them. But yeah, we've got that, and then I suppose we're making a bit of a trip next year, aren't we? As well.
God,
just before we get on to that, Alien Weaponry. Any fans?
Yeah, no.
Well, in
great,
terms of that
fantastic.
Gojira gig, so both Employed to Serve, Alien Weaponry, I'd heard really good things about both bands. Sometimes I like seeing a band that I haven't listened to before,
Yes,
and hearing them live for the first time before I hear a single track. So Conjurer at Siege was actually one of those bands.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd got a Gojira ticket to see Gojira, and I'd noticed the two support acts and was like, I've been hearing things about them, haven't heard anything yet. I'm just gonna hold off until I see them. But obviously the gig was postponed, so I've been waiting a long time. And I mean, I forgot about them basically. that gig was happening. And it's, I mean, at this point, it's almost seeming like one of those Aussie Judas Priest gigs. Like, is it ever gonna happen? But I'm hopefully, is it February next year, Ulster Hall?
yeah, it's really soon.
Yeah.
It is.
We'll be there before we fucking know it. To be honest,
blink
I
of an
think
eye.
Alien Weaponry getting there's a lot of hype around them, and I haven't seen them yet, so I'm really quite looking forward to seeing them to see if they live to the hype.
Sometimes worry. Sometimes there's a lot of hype around a band because the members are young.
They're the
It's
ones
like-
that play
it's like,
Bloodstock, weren't
Can
they?
you believe these guys are only 17? They're amazing for being 17, and it's like, but if they weren't, would they still be good?
It's like that band we seen at
Bloodstock?
I can't remember. Tortured Demon.
Yeah,
That's the ones.
I don't like. Yeah, fuck, they're good. They're grand. But like, the fact that they're 15 or whatever, you're like, oh, this is the future of metal. It's like, well, is it? Because they're playing the same thrash that was in fucking the 80s.
yeah,
Do you know?
yeah,
Like, it's the same
exactly.
shit.
Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with encouraging that, and it's fantastic that people. I mean, I'm jealous of them, no doubt, that you're
fuck
that
yeah.
age and you're touring the world playing music to people. Absolutely, but
I think
I
the point
don't
is-
think it's healthy to just say this band's great because they're young.
Yeah, I think the point is that you're consistent and you stick with it and you keep going. Because it reminds me of that Sonosphere show that you were talking about with Slipknot and the Big Four were on the Friday night and stuff. I think there was a band called Black Tide or something like that.
Yeah.
They were one of those thrashy bands that were like, can you believe these guys are so young and they're on this bill? And I think they did a thrashy album, maybe changed style slightly for another album, and then they just completely fell off the radar, completely.
Where
so,
are they now? Kind of
Yeah.
thing. Yeah. Phil, you were about to say we're off for a wee
We jumped.
a wee TWKOM jaunt, if
Wee
you will.
venture.
Well, no, Mark's not coming just yet.
I'm hoping to sort it out. Like,
Well, maybe persuade him.
So we're all on a trip to Budapest for Rammstein.
Because they never made it to Belfast, so we're gonna go to them.
Yeah, my favorite live band of all time. In fact, sort of, absolutely. There's no. They probably occupy about 3 out of the top 5 gigs I've ever been at. Sort of. But yeah, I'm fucking looking forward to that. It's incredible. There's and friends have commented about sort of my mental state whenever I'm at a Rammstein gig, and it's like you just turn into a big fucking Labrador.
Okay, I can't
That's not what I was expecting.
It's like you just turn into a big Labrador where you're the happiest man. on the
Feels
planet.
happy, please.
It's like I don't think we've ever. It's like it's a bad fucking time when people are like, here. So is this what you're like when you're happy? I'm like, fuck right, stay on sound here. Who needs enemies,
These people clearly haven't seen you with a pint of Guinness in your hand, then, have they?
Oh, the fuck they have many times. Yeah.
Or Guinness the dog.
Yeah, but it kind of goes against what I was saying earlier, and I accept accusations of being a bit of a hypocrite.
Rammstein shows only work in an arena, though. I mean,
yeah,
the Flames, the show they
as-
bring, you could not do in the Empire.
As cynical as I am about arena bands and massive shows and going to see a concert with 14,000 people, the opportunity to go see Rammstein, I'm not going to skip it. You know, I'd like to see them at least one more time. You know?
Like, I don't know how long they've got left, realistically speaking, the intensity and you know that they run at, you know. Like they run at a very fucking high intensity, and it's a big show that they put on.
And they were all pretty maybe long in the tooth isn't the word I'm looking for. They weren't spring chickens when they kind of broke. I think they were all deep into the 30s.
Oh yeah,
whenever
deep,
Rammstein got
They're
popular,
the
you know.
what?
They're in their 60s now. You know?
Yeah. So
Fuck.
So again, it's not the band.
And those shows are intense.
There's a lot of bands where I think if you haven't seen them yet, go see them because they're probably not going to last much longer. Like, I don't know how much longer Judas Priest have in them. I don't know how much longer Iron Maiden have in them. I won't say the same about Metallica because they're just a fucking cash cow and they will keep going until they die. Probably the same against, I don't know, feel the same about Rage Against the Machine in another cynical way. But Rammstein aren't the band that I think of that way. I don't think, oh, these guys are, you know, getting old, go see them before you can. But they are.
Yeah.
And I think you're right. I think they will probably knock it on the head at some point. As in, if they feel that their performance is starting to slip, I reckon they'll...
I'd love some band to like do a final tour in a very, very honest way and literally call it the pension tour. You know, you're paying for our pension. This is us. The retirement tour,
fund.
You know?
Yeah.
How many fucking final tours have Kiss had?
Jesus.
You know, other bands.
There's if you want to talk about cynicism within the music industry, there's the band to get talking about. You know?
Or there's the people that have all tickets to an Aussie show who still think that that's going to happen.
Yeah. It's you know, it's like, you know, cynicism, Motley Crue, Kiss. Those are the two.
See that every now and again, right? I went off and I didn't go off on one. I was level-headedly cynical about the Motley Crue and Def Leppard tour. They're playing Dublin, and every now and again it pops up on my Facebook feed, you know, reminding me that Motley Crue and Def Leppard, and I kind of go to myself, maybe wise up and just go to that, because if you throw a load of beers in you,
couple of beers in the sun,
and sing "Shout at the Devil" and "Girls, Girls, Girls" and Dr. Feelgood, you know, you'll have a blast of a time, and then I'll look at the price and go, get fucked. And I'm not paying €90 for Motley Crue, who are, I mean, it's horrifically bad if you've seen footage.
I keep thinking back to seeing them at Sonosphere, 2011 or whatever that was, so 10 years ago. And is it the guitarist or whatever who has
Mick
to
Mars.
stop taking his painkillers?
Nah, he's
retired. Good, because
I
got
from live gigs. But
I've never been
really. I actually got really upset watching that because he can't play on his painkillers, so he stopped taking the painkillers, and he stood there on stage, and you could see
Visibly
any movement.
pain.
He was visibly hurting, and it was because we've talked earlier, bands, if you're having fun, and it was just like, please put your health before this. This is not worth it.
I don't think I've ever seen any musician retire and had such a feeling of,
thank God.
Good for you. You deserve that. It's time for you to hang it up and think of yourself rather than this band. I can't help but wonder how much pressure was being put on him by, I don't know, tour managers, record labels, the rest of the band, to keep going and keep pushing this.
Because he has only retired from live shows. He's still the guitar player for recording material and stuff. So fair play to him.
Jump in a taxi and go.
But do you want to hear new shit from Motley Crue? Like,
no,
I can't remember.
I don't even particularly want to hear Motley Crue anymore. I've seen them a couple.
I would pay vast sums of money to go back in time 30 years and see Motley Crue at their prime. Like, they're a band. I'm glad I got to see them. The first time I seen them was 2007 or 2009 at Download, and it was fucking brilliant. It was so good. I seen them again.
I seen them in 2009.
Show.
I remember their second stage.
Yeah,
I think where that was I was there as well.
I think they clashed. If memory serves me right, they clashed with Marilyn Manson, and I chose Motley Crue.
No, Motley Crue. Whenever I seen them, I think Motley Crue clashed with Rage. No, not Rage. What do you call? Oh, the band. Obviously, the band. Your man that.
Don't know.
You're gonna have to cut this. It's the You Want It All.
Cutting them.
Oh, you're not talking like the Party did? No.
No.
Andrew WK?
No.
If you want
No.
I don't
In
know.
love,
Anyway, like I'm just
Anyone
really,
with a
really
phone, give me
happy.
your phone. 2009 download headliners.
Really glad that I got to see Motley Crue with a lineup, and at a time that I thought they were still capable of putting on very, very good shows that weren't just an
The
embarrassment.
fact in 2 years, the
So much,
degradation of
Yeah.
show was
Are you still looking this? What year was it?
2009.
Any other shows next year that people are looking forward to, local or aside?
Well,
I'm going to see.
Faith No More.
Oh, you want it
That's
all?
thank you.
Yeah.
They clashed with Faith No More. I watched Motley Crue, and then on the way out, caught the tail end of Faith No
Yeah.
More.
Right, I think we need to bring this home because we've been going for a while, so another half an hour maybe. We just literally before I hit record, we agreed on what we're going to talk about.
Hopes and dreams.
Hopes and dreams for 2023. Bands that we hope might come to Belfast, or
ones
maybe
we'd
play
like to see.
festivals, or festivals we don't want to go to. All that sort of shit. I think, Phil, you had something that you had in mind specifically.
yeah, so I think there's probably a couple. I'd love to see Dead Label. I already mentioned it
Yeah.
earlier on, but I want to see Dead Label back in Belfast. Just always a fucking good gig. Just fucking tremendously enjoyable and big chunky, groovy riffs.
We do love a riff.
Yeah, exactly. But like, there's been a wee bit of a teaser in the past few days for like Spirit Box, and I'm a big fan of Spirit Box. I've made no secret about that at all, and I think it's because have I got like, did I get you guys in the Spirit Box? I don't know.
No, you harped on about the one time I listened to them, and it's a wee bit
Not too much for you. Yeah,
I
don't
like
it?
them.
too
I haven't listened to them a
towards
lot.
the melodic end of
Yeah.
metalcore for my liking.
And but I'm if they seem to be teasing UK and Ireland tour, and I'll be all over it. All over it. I fucking can't. I'd love to see those guys live. I think their last album there last year was fucking tremendous. So yeah, hopes and dreams. That's what I want. I also want Rammstein to play Limelight 2. Or in fact Voodoo would be nice as well.
Yes,
There would be nothing but ashes left.
Yeah, but that would be nice. But somehow.
Hopes and dreams for me 2023. I would like to see one more gig from By Any Means. They're a band that were really fucking intrinsic for me in getting into hardcore. Now I think they're you could argue that they're not the most hardcore of hardcore bands. Like they don't, there's no real big beatdowns or anything like that. They don't sound like Sick of It All. They don't sound like Madball. They don't sound like Malevolence.
Quite old school hardcore.
It's to me it's very metallic hardcore. But when I first discovered By Any Means, that led me towards bands like Hatebreed and
Terror and
I can't even think there was another band specifically. I can't even remember the name of them. That band was responsible for me going down a very specific musical path. Not only that, I used to always get up on stage with them and do a few vocals with them, and then I done an audition to try and get into By Any Means, which was an absolute fucking embarrassment, but it was fun and it was a learning experience. And off the back of that, that's how I got into Defied and doing vocals for those guys. For me personally, By Any Means were a really important part of my experience with the local metal scene. And I don't feel like they ever drew a line in the sand. They never said, this is it, it's over. But it feels like it is. And I just like one more gig. I'd like them to say, we're going to knock this in the head. There's going to be no more BAM gigs. But we're doing this one. Likewise with Gacy's Threads, but I think there's less of a chance of that.
I mean, I think they're fairly done. They did have their final gig.
But I think it's a real shame that we didn't get a proper send off for By Any Means. So that's my big wish for 2023. By Any Means, one more gig, let us go fucking nuts and fucking scream all those fucking songs off that album, and then we can say we're done with it.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, I think if fucking Dave Mustaine is trying to have another big 4 tour with Slayer officially in retirement, you've more chance of that happening, so...
You think?
Aim for 2023, yeah.
Holy fuck. Right.
I'd say if there's enough numbers on the checks, Slayer will definitely come out of retirement for a big 4. Like
I don't know. I think Tom's done.
And rightly so.
The rest of them could be pulled. Other ones, 2023, who would I like to see come to Belfast?
I'd like to see the Crawling because I don't think I've seen them this year, which is embarrassing for me.
We'll definitely get a Crawling show.
But hopefully we can make it.
I think in terms of, I would like to. I think it's almost guaranteed that the Crawling will play Belfast in 2023.
At some stage, yeah.
But under what circumstances? I would like to see them do something they haven't done before, but I don't know what that is. I don't know, an outdoor gig.
an outdoor,
Bigger venue,
an
maybe.
outdoor local gig.
Limelight One. I don't know. I would love. They've made a point of, whenever the Crawling play Belfast, it's an event.
It's a big deal.
Yeah.
It's not just we're going to take every gig we can and play all the time. They've moved beyond that. I wouldn't want them see them just supporting another local band, or not another local band, like another touring band.
Yeah.
I don't want to see them in Limelight 2 because we've seen them there so many fucking times. I would love to see another Crawling gig, but I would love to, in some way, shape, or regard that I don't necessarily know, I would like to see it be something we haven't seen before.
Fair.
Like whenever they play Bloodstock, they had all the pyrotechnics. I don't know how the fuck they had managed to pull that off in Belfast. How or where. But something like that, something to just make it a fucking event. Like, if you don't go to this Crawling show, you will never experience what this was,
And then I think
it's easy for me to say that, the guys behind the bands, the promoters and stuff. Fuck me, I don't know how to pull that off. But
then there's a few other bands as well that have been quite quiet that I'd like to see. I mean, Loch Horns, we saw at Siege, they're teasing new stuff, so I can't wait for them to come back.
Yep, absolutely.
Oracle have been silent for a long time, but I know that they are working on new stuff and coming back. Can't wait to see them. If we're talking about dreams, I'd love to be able to see Stranglewire on their American tour, because fair fucking play to them.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen because it's in January and I don't have that money. That would have been a dream, massive respect
Christmas
to them.
presents for Claire.
Yes, please.
No, that'd be fine. I've always had this idea, and we almost pulled it off.
We did it. We thought about it.
I love this idea of going to see one of our bands while they're on tour, but not telling them. So we were meant to go to Manchester last October, was it?
Yeah, it was October the 1st or something.
And I love the idea of just like the Crawling were on tour in Manchester, and I love the idea of just like turning up, going, alright lads, how's it going? Came to the show, and it's like, what the fuck are you doing in Manchester? To do something like that, to turn up at a Stranglewire show.
Probably they'll turn around and go, oh god, not those cunts again. We left Belfast to get away from them.
Me with the camera and all. TWKOM podcast on tour. Give it up for Stranglewire. Cringe. But I've always loved the idea of that, Other things, wishes and dreams for 2023. New fucking bands to break through. And I know that we're all friends with different people in different bands. We know, all 4 of us know that there's people working on things, and that there's going to be announcements in the next 2, 3, 4 months.
But for now,
and it's stuff that we can't talk about. I mean, one of them recently would be Delusional Silence has got they've completely overhauled their lineup. You've got Pete Renshaw, who I would say does or did sing for Kidos. I'm not exactly sure what the situation there is.
I think I seen him say recently they're looking at a new bassist.
Yeah.
But they're still trying to keep it alive.
Yeah, so to me that's interesting, new lineup for Delusional Silence. I know of other people working on new projects, without saying too much. toying with the idea of working on a new project myself, and
so I've heard.
Yeah, I'm just looking forward. I'm looking forward to new bands coming out. You know?
I also want
That's
something.
news to me, William. That's news to me.
I also want there to be something new that none of us know.
Exactly.
People that we don't know.
Yeah.
No,
some new band turning up and like turning who's that, and turning up and seeing them and going, fuck me, they're amazing.
To a certain degree, I kind of like. Do you remember when we were talking about that Metal of the Masses last year, and there was bands we didn't know, and we were like, who the fuck's in this band? We don't fucking know them, and it was like, next thing is, we're presented with something like that.
Yeah.
That's exciting. You know, there's an allure in the intrigue and the mystery of not knowing a fucking thing.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Was it Insidious Void? No,
There
was a few.
And Imperial Demonic.
That's
as
the
well.
one. It was.
Imperial Demonic, you know, and we're like, oh fuck, right, okay, these boys are coming, and that was nice. It was fun.
Yeah. See, I remember like looking back, like, and I've talked about this more times than anyone wants to hear, but there was a period where I was just getting really, really tired of the local scene, of seeing the same bands over and over again, and it was around that time where Oracle came out
And Lockhorns
came out, and the Crawling formed, and it was like this scene that I was getting bored of just got really fucking exciting. You know, there's some incredible bands here, and I'd love another wee period like that, another wee period where some bands start sprouting up, and there is no fucking doubt that the talent isn't there. The talent's there, absolutely, but I got torn to shreds recently on Facebook because someone said, what about another 2-dayer all day long metal and rock festival in Belfast, you know, and when they say festival,
Gigstival,
we mean Gigstival, you know.
We've got one.
And I responded saying, honestly, I don't think the current lineup of bands in Belfast justifies 2 full days of bands, and I still stand by that. I don't think it is.
The fact is, the comment they replied to is, oh well, we just don't have opportunities to see the bands, and it's like, well, what fucking planet are you on? Because there are literally gigs every week,
and it
week.
felt like, you know, you're just being negative, and it's like, hang on a minute, this is. I don't think anyone would criticize me and say that I'm not passionate about the local scene. Of course I am. I've been going to gigs since 2005, 2006. I've been, for want of a better phrase, supporting the scene. I love this. I fucking started a podcast just to talk about this shit. You know, this is my jam. So if I'm saying that I think things are a wee bit things aren't as good as they could be right now, it's not because I want to be positive or I'm looking to fucking have a dig at anyone or, you know, go, yeah, these are all shite or anything. It's not that.
No.
It's just an honest opinion of the state of things right now.
I think in terms of especially like the Gigstivals kind of thing that you're talking about, it's like I'm never ever gonna slate anyone for being ambitious, but you do have to rhyme it off with being realistic at the same time. Like that is the key for those kind of things.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of, what I think gets that right is Crypt of the Riff every year delivers, and we have one coming up in like 2 weeks, and I can't fucking wait.
That's it. Saying that this stuff doesn't exist is just a flat out lie, because it is out there. Just because you only go to gigs put on by maybe a certain promoter or whatever is no excuse to say, I mean, it's there. There are those gigs, and you're like, oh, the scene desperately needs this. It's like, the scene doesn't, because the scene is real. It is strong. There are a lot of gigs. There's a lot of promoters putting shows on. Just because you don't go to them doesn't mean it doesn't happen.
I think the people criticising the scene are the people that don't go to it. Do you know? The people that don't support it.
I've always found it that way. Like,
it's like, oh, there's nothing.
I really like. I desperately want to have that conversation at some stage. Of what does it mean to support the scene?
It's the scene died when I stopped going to gigs.
Yeah, that's effectively it. Like, but I think the actually there's something in what Mark was saying there, in like Crypt of the Riff is our siege.
Yeah.
In a very, very, roundabout way.
Definitely, yeah.
That's a really good comparison.
I think what Jake has done in a very, very short period of time is, get together you know, at Gigstable, or they have been nights up to this point, but he's led up to, like, everything that he's done is led up to now, where he's now putting on a 2-day fucking festival, 10 bands over 2 days, and it's very hard to see how it won't be a success.
And there's a good mix between local bands and then bands from down south, and then the occasional touring band, and it works so well.
Like, I suppose it's like, if you look at, like, you know, what, like, the bands that, you know, he's had on that bill, Conjure have played Crypt of the Riff.
Indeed.
You know,
Yeah.
That's like, it's like fucking dead on. Dead Witches, like, oh, you know, he's done a fucking fantastic job of managing to get together something that actually everybody goes to. It is like Siege in that way, that everybody puts a date in their calendar and goes, Crypt of the Riff, I'm going to that.
Yeah.
You know, so, and that's I think, you know, it's fuck that.
And when's Crypt of the Riff? 9th and 10th
of December.
Yeah, 9th and 10th of December.
Friday and Saturday.
So blocked for 2 days then. Yeah.
my only problem is that clashes really badly with work days. So I think my plan is to head to the work day, which is free booze all night, just get fucking smashed, and then make my excuses and fuck off the Crypt of the Riff and catch maybe 2 or 3 bands. I don't know. Anyway, look, I think we've covered
Enough.
quite a bit with our review.
I didn't get to talk about my hopes and dreams.
Oh, Mark.
Sorry, what's your hopes and dreams?
Well, no, I mean,
for
to tie it
2023?
into Crypt of the Riff, because it's big deal in terms of 2 days, but I think every band bar one, I'd say, I think there's one coming up from Glasgow, is local, whether it's northern or southern. Because in terms of hopes and dreams, there's certain bands like Horrenda, Grey Stag, Soothsayer, that I would love to see come up north more often.
True.
But I'm
Grey
also
Stag.
going to try and make the trip down south, because I'm hoping to go see Soothsayer next weekend.
Nice.
Supporting Death the Leveler, I think it is. But also, there's some big hits. So next week, The Cure are playing in the Odyssey. That's like one bucket list kind of band. I got tickets for Bruce Springsteen next year. Again, bucket list kind of thing. But the ultimate hope and dream is Iron Maiden's tour next year, Senjutsu, and Somewhere in Time, you know, joint set. Alexander the fucking Great.
Yeah.
If I hear that live, I can
that's
die
gonna happen.
happy.
I think that's.
I think it
happen.
is. I think it is. Yeah.
Listen, we'll wrap things up there because I think we've blathered on for quite a bit. And,
You think?
Yeah, just.
Thanks to special guest Misty.
Yes.
Payhouse.
Yeah, so podcasting, we're going to try and do this at least once a month. Yeah, definitely once a month, with maybe a few more things, trying to get like people from bands on to come on and discuss and promote things. If anyone fancies coming on and sitting here talking shit with us, you're more than welcome. We provide plenty of beer and plenty of piss stops between the way. So
And there's cats for cuddles.
I was going to say, the piss stops are primarily for you, though.
well,
And me as well.
If you are
More
allergic
or
to
less.
cats, sorry, you're shit out of luck.
yeah, that's not going to happen. Yeah, but thank you very much for listening. And as always, I have to finish with this.
Yeah.
Keep listening to the wrong kind of music.